Sorry for the interruption, but now I'm going to explain to you guys why let me see, can I switch it? Excuse me, my room is a little bit of chaos right now in the process of planning for my school year. Okay, I want you guys to see my face, and normally I don't like to be in front of the camera, which I don't now, but I feel like I need to explain myself. um the reason why I decided to no longer use Thinking Tree as my core, meaning I use Thinking Tree products because I've been using them for quite a while. And I absolutely love them. But like I said, Check Academy has started sending me different things, various things dealing with box curriculum. And at first, I was totally against it. And I was like, oh, I'm absolutely loving building my curriculum and also using Thinking Tree products. And I still do like using Thinking Tree products for a supplement. The reason why, what came up was one of my subscribers asked me about my opinion on the good and the beautiful. And I'm a person that I don't give a review on something that I have not personally used myself. And I can watch as many videos as I want. Oh, you're so glad I'm doing this. I was, I'm totally like, what you're gonna get from me on my channel is honesty, whether it's good, easy for me to tell it or not. But I'm gonna be as transparent as I can, because all of us are on these journeys, and we're all in various different situations with our homeschool, and we're just looking for something that will work for our family. And so many of us on the hunt, and I just can't tell a lie when it comes down to stuff like that. I just have to tell the truth, even if it's difficult for me to tell it. But I'm honest. So at any rate, one of my thank you. Love you too. So what had happened was one of my subscribers had asked me about my personal opinion on the good and the beautiful. Now, I have never heard about the good and the beautiful from that point. I didn't even know the good and the beautiful existed. So what I started doing was doing my research. I started looking up videos about the good and the beautiful. They even offer levels 1 through 5 for free, the PDF version. But it's so much to print, you'll do better just to buy from the company, because I tested it and I'm like, oh, you should just buy from the company, because it's about the same price, like a $3-4 difference, depending on who you go to get your stuff bound with. So to make a long story short, I saw that the level 4 book, part 1, I just did the literature and language arts, not the other stuff, was like maybe $11 or $12. And I was like, okay, that's not too expensive. That's in my budget. I can buy this. And if I don't like it, I can give it away on a giveaway and just say, hey, this might work for you. It didn't work for me. It wasn't that expensive. So I'm just going to give it away for a giveaway. Thank you, Anna Chadcam. She said, we come to hear the truth. And I know the book, Right Brain Learners, is, yep, you're right. It went away. I couldn't see the rest on Andrew Check Academy. But at any rate, so I did my research on the good and the beautiful, and you guys, I was absolutely blown away. Everything that I have been doing all these years, dealing with unit studies and dealing with trying to build my curriculum and use multiple subjects at the same time, this curriculum provided that for me without all the busy work, without all the planning, the stress, the aggravation of trying to find everything that I needed to go with the curriculum. And like I said, with your children getting older, you are required to do way more stuff. So it was fine in the smaller grades. It wasn't that difficult, and it's so many things readily available for elementary school ages for free. Like, it's like eons of stuff. But when you start getting to middle school and start approaching high school, you will notice that a lot of the curriculum is far and few in between that are free, that are really good. You run across some stuff that's free, but they're not that great. So, and I have tried just about everything. And I'm still looking for some stuff just for you guys who really, really need it. But after I tried it, and I tried it with both kids, and I did it with them individually, and just pulled them down and did an hour with them on following the method how she says to do the good and beautiful. You guys, I was blown away. This thing is so meticulously planned out that your child is getting like maybe 7 subjects. Let me see. You're doing in one little course booklet, you're doing literature, grammar and usage, punctuation, art, geography, spelling, vocabulary, and writing. You guys, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 subjects in one little book. So can you just imagine all of that, like all the books that we have in all those subjects, and we don't have to do that anymore? Now, the only gripe I can say about the good and the beautiful that I that I wish they had, it's not really a gripe, it's just an observation. And they said that they're gonna they're changing some things about their curriculum to adjust to this demand. The only thing I would say that the Good and Beautiful lacks is diversity dealing with the art. Like, you don't hardly see too many African Americans, Native Americans, Filipinos, Asian Americans. You do not see a lot of indigenous people portrayed in a lot of the artwork. But that can be an easy fix with adding your own art to the curriculum as well. Combine it and find you some things that's dealing with your heritage, your culture, things that you want your child to know about the unique thing of being themselves, whether it's African American, whether it's Spanish, Latina, whether it's German, whatever you are, whatever heritage you are, it's not really depicted a lot in the Good and the Beautiful when it's dealing with diversity. However, the artwork and the things that she portrays in her curriculum is very, very good. It's very, very good. So with that being said, your child will get a wide array or knowledge of things, of various different types of art. It's not indigenous people. You will run across a little bit of Native Americans, a little bit of African, like maybe a couple of pictures from what I saw, but it's not a lot. So if that, and right now Jenny is currently trying to revamp her art curriculum to include more diversity with culture. So that's a win-win. That's the only thing that I have to say about the curriculum, because everything else I absolutely love. You guys, it freed up so much time for me. I don't know what to do with myself. No planning, no stress from trying to figure out what I'm going to do for that day. It's already set and done in motion. Now I'm going to show you. Let me see, can I do this right? About this good and the beautiful, and why I decided not to use Thinking Tree. And I just want to say that I absolutely love Sarah and her products, but I feel like at this point, my family and I are on a different wavelength when it's dealing with totally flipping, because I had totally flipped to fun schooling. Absolutely loved it when I did it, until And the Check Academy starts sending me all this amazing box curriculum that opened my eyes to no planning. And I had a deep heart-to-heart conversation with my children, because I noticed that they wasn't, in the beginning, they was totally hyped. They totally loved everything that we was doing with fun schooling. But then I started noticing later on, they start not having that much fun. And I was trying to figure out, why is that? Am I like drilling the thing too much? What am I doing that is zapping the joy out of your homeschool when this is supposed to be fun for you guys? And my son, keep in mind, my son, he is very literal, very direct. And he came to me and he was like, Mom, I just did not want to hurt your feelings. I'm like, what you mean didn't want to hurt my feelings? He said, I know you absolutely love Thinking Tree and Thinking Tree products, and I just didn't want to break it to you that at a certain point, I just was not loving it anymore. And I was like, what? He said, no, Mom, I I wish that you can find. He said, I really love the way we first started out when homeschooling. We used to build all the unit studies and stuff like that. And I wouldn't mind if I had less books. My son got overwhelmed because he has high functioning autism. He's dyslexic. He has dysgraphia, a lot of different things going on. And he said that even though he liked what the Thinking Tree books are trying to do, but for him, it was just too many books for him. He got overwhelmed when we had all the various different subjects, and he had maybe 6 to 8 books in each basket at minimum. And he was like, Mom, I felt overwhelmed when I go to my baskets and I see all those books. I just feel like I'll never accomplish reading all. Even if he picked the books out, he'd be like, I don't feel like I can get through all of them. And then when I said it, we had like, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 baskets, different subjects. And when you multiply 8 books times 6 baskets, no, 8 baskets times 8 books. Oh, mercy. That's too many books. That's like 64 books. So it was just too much for him. Now, with that being said, Thinking Tree has worked for a lot of people, and it has been a great thing for so many people. And I'm not down talking Thinking Tree because I do think the whole concept of it is great. But if you have a child that is telling you that this is not working for them, then as a parent, although I spent a lot of money, as a parent, will you change it to make learning conducive to them? Because that's why we homeschool, to make learning better for our child. Or do you make them continue on doing something that they're totally not getting what they need? They're learning, but they're not learning fun or learning the way that you want them to learn. So I prayed about it, thought about it, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to come tell my subscribers what's going on at Lakeshore Academy. For my son, it started getting a little too overwhelming with all the different books. For my daughter, she can do pretty much whatever she wants. She just adapts. She's one of those children that totally adapt to whatever situation she has. Even if she don't care for it, she'll still do it. And she was like going through the books like it was nobody's business with the core journals. And my son, he was just getting whammed with them, various things. So what I decided to do is not make my children do the core journals this school year, even though I have a whole lot. I have so many core journals because I got a lot of things well in advance when it was on sale. So I'm like, I have so many Thinking Tree journals at this point. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with all of them because I don't think we're ever going to go back to the core journals. However, I do feel like, yeah. And the Checker said the required research needed for the books can be a little daunting for some people. Yes, that's true. And however, I'm still going to use Thinking Tree products because I have supplemented stuff. Well, I call it supplemental stuff that I'm going to be using with Thinking Tree products because I still do like the supplements, and I'm going to use those instead of the core journals. And my children are fine with that because it's not too much, it's not too overwhelming. They wanted simplicity. My son told me he needed more structure. And so we just have to face it. Some children need something laid out for them, whereas some children, they either or some children, but with my son, he just needed something laid out because he actually came to me and told me, he said, Mom, I feel guilty. And I was like, why? He was like, because I know that I'm not giving my total all with Thinking Tree because I'm able to pick the books and everything I want. And most children are not going to pick hard. So they're just going to pick enough just to get by. So he did pick stuff difficult than his level, but he could have did more. And so he came to me and voiced his opinion. So I had to do some soul searching and really dig deep and say, okay, if this is not working, I'm not going to force this on you. I appreciate him opening up and telling me. So with that being said, I decided to do the good and the beautiful. My son and daughter absolutely love it. It's very challenging from them. It gives them the structure that they needed, and it helps me because it covers a variety of subjects all at one time. Due to my son having dyslexia, spelling is still a difficult point for him. So with that being said, that's why I decided to start with level 2, because he's going to go through this super duper fast, the other parts of it. But the spelling part I decided to do is because I like the way they broke the words up, because it's teaching him how to decode the words. So we're mainly focusing on the spelling aspect. I also have level 3 and I have level 4 as well. Because like I said, I was selling off a lot of my curriculum, and I just decided just about this because my kids absolutely love this. I do not have to beg them to do this curriculum. They love it. They sit down. We do one-on-one. I give them both individualized time. My son, for the first time, made 4 A's. Being dyslexic, made 4 A's on his spelling test. And I just gave him a random test after going over the words with him, with the good and beautiful. He didn't even study them for like 5 to 7 days like it suggested. I just went on ahead and just did the test with him. And my son passed everything after. I almost cried. So I feel like this is what he needed. He didn't need to go searching around the house for words, because he was getting a little exasperated with it. At first, he loved it, but I think I don't know if he got bored. I don't know what happened, but it just changed for him. And so this is what he needs right now. And as parents, we just have to have the courage to just do what's best for our child, even though it may be scary to switch in the middle of a school year, or to switch totally over when you already invested so much in another curriculum. You just have to let go. And that's what I did. And I'm telling you guys, I have so much pressure lifted off my shoulders that everything is meticulously planned for me. And I also just add in whatever I want. Now, this reading is not on his grade level because he reads very well now. However, he still doesn't spell like he needs to. So that's why we went into the lower levels. But technically, once he gets the spelling down, I have level 4 and 5. So I'm just gonna test him again and see where he's at then, because he's gonna go through this very fast, the reading and the sentences and stuff like that. I'm just solely interested in the art aspect of it, as well as the spelling and the grammar as well. So, but like I said, the stories. But look how beautiful it is, y'all. And it ties in the reading, the literature, and I'm into it too because of the literature, because I want my kids from this point on to have a real heavy study of literature, all aspect of literature, with all different cultures, and learning about people from reading about them. So I'm looking for a lot of literature-based stuff. So with that being said, this is the level 7, and good and beautiful. This does not mean 7th grade just because it say level 7. The good and the beautiful is so advanced, that level 7 can be used for an 8th grader or a 9th grader. And if your child is special needs, you can just go down to whatever level your child needs. Just start at the point where your child is at. Don't worry about what level it says, because the good and the beautiful is so advanced that once they complete it, they're going to be way ahead of public school because of the content of the literature and the reading and the geography and the art. They're going to be way advanced. So don't worry about what level you have to begin with, even if your child is older. But she does suggest that if your child is 14 years old and does not have a reading problem or a learning disability, that if you have a 14-year-old and you never done the good and beautiful before, you can actually just start with high school 1 from that point. As long as your child don't need any remedial help with reading and spelling and all that stuff, they can start from the beginning with no knowledge of the good and beautiful, with high school level 1 if they're 14 years old. So you don't have to go through all of these. But it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So I like this, and look how pretty and how laid out it is with the reading and everything. Even have the answer key, which is really good, because I need me an answer key. And it has the classical literature that they're going to be reading. And also she has a list of other literature stuff that you can actually add on. Now with me, I'm going to be adding on different literature that I want my children to read to go along with this. Okay, now let me get back to my thinking tree. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be using thinking tree as my core, dealing with the core journals and stuff. I'm going to use thinking tree as a supplement. Like my son is taking music next year, and we're going to really get detailed into music. So I'm going to let him use this thinking tree journal, which I think is very good. And we, like I said, we're focusing on classic stories and a lot of literature. So we're going to be using 30 classical stories, pondering the past with Thinking Tree. And we're going to be using these. I already have a playlist ready on YouTube with dealing with the various movies and audiobooks that we're going to be listening to and doing these various stories. And as you can see, it's not too much for a child to do. And we're going to do this together. I even have a copy of this because I want to do it with them as well. My daughter is going to be using this for her creative writing and her stories. She already started this. I can't find it now, but I know, or maybe it's the other one. Oh, yeah, she already started. And my son is going to be using this one, all about animals. And I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to let him use this one. I have some more. Let's see. Sorry for that, for walking away. My children also have two more smaller journals that they're going to be using for Thinking Tree for creative writing. It's like 50 amazing prompts, and the other one is like adventures or something like that. They're going to be using that. And also my daughter, she's going to be using this for zoology and documenting about these various animals. And my son and daughter and we're going to be working on the 7 amazing continents to tie in with their geography study lesson that I'm preparing. So we're going to be using this as well. And this is just supplemental for my son. He absolutely loved games and all this other stuff. So I feel like this would be a great tie-in for him as well. Because you see, as it's so covered, and I absolutely love this. It has different activities in it. So for now at Lakeshore Academy Ideas, we're shifting from having Thinking Tree as our core to using Thinking Tree as a supplement, as an add-on or a build on to what we're already doing. And I feel like this is going to be a great fit for our homeschool family at this point. Okay, so you guys can see me. So I want to be totally honest with you guys to let you know exactly what's going on and why I feel the way that I feel now versus how I was in the beginning. Because like I said, I used Thinking Tree for quite a long time. And I pretty much know just about every journal it is. I think I personally almost had maybe about 70, maybe about, I think I had maybe 75 journals in all, or 80. I know I got a little overdone. However, that's why I do so many giveaways, because I bought a lot and then I did some things where I actually earned some journals as well. So I was able to gift a lot of different things. And I did a lot of Thinking Tree events where I was able to get my hands on them. I didn't own all of them. However, I was able to give them out to different different people in the homeschool community. So I pretty much know quite a bit about Thinking Tree. Absolutely love the whole concept of it at first. But now I think that we are like changing in our homeschool and I'm going with it. I'm at a point in my life where I want to be as simple and as thorough as possible with less work on me and more work on focusing on them learning and not so much focusing on trying to get the perfect lesson plan, trying to find all the perfect resources to accompany this one book. I'm just looking for, I need simplicity. My kids need it, and they need structure, more structure. And that's what they voiced to me. And so that's what I intend to do. Um, as a thinking tree, I still would be doing like thinking tree as a supplement, like I said, but not as a core. My core from here on out will be real life for science, story of the world for my history, and the good and the beautiful literature and language arts, and what else I'm doing? I can't remember at this point. But and I'm building me a curriculum for African American studies as well. Because it's not really anything readily available that I like. So I'm gonna be building that. However, you guys, I just wanted to come on, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk behind the camera when I'm voicing how I'm feeling about this, because I wanted to convey my sincerity to you all, to let you know totally and honestly and totally transparent how I'm doing, how I'm feeling about this, and why I decided not to use Thinking Tree as my core, like I was doing for all that long time before. And so far, what we're doing is working excellent. It has freed up so much time. I have way more quality time with my children because we're able to actually get to the meat of the subject instead of kind of like tiptoeing around it. Like, we was running into a situation where excuse me, where we couldn't get to the library and stuff like that. So it wasn't working out. And then we got to the point where I was buying books, even though I was buying them cheap, and then some people was giving them to me. Um, the house was getting overwhelmed by stuff, clutter, stuff everywhere. And although the stuff that I had was great, but being that it was so much of it, like the old saying goes, you can have too much of a good thing. And who would say that a homeschool would ever say too many books? But I'm here to tell you, I had too many books, too much stuff going on. So right now I'm in the process of purging a lot of my books and donating them. The children are looking for organizations. We giving things out, helping start in schools. We donated to Africa. We donated to various areas around the United States. Right now, we're getting ready to donate an academy, start some books for their program that they're just starting out. So we kind of pay it forward, just because these didn't work for me at this point in my life, because it did work before. That doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. If that is the type of learning that you need for your children, that's great. And if you found what you are looking for, that you imagine your homeschool to be, then use it. Despite what I say or what anybody says on YouTube, if you know something is working for you, despite what I say or anybody else say, stick with it. Oh, you're so sweet. Stick with it. Don't let anyone sway you on your decision of homeschooling and how you're going to homeschool. That's most important. We all made a decision to homeschool, but never let anyone dictate how you're going to do it, because we pulled our children out of school or never put them in school because we wanted the freedom to teach our children. We wanted them to have the freedom to learn in a stress-free environment. And if we're creating an environment that is indigenous to stress for you and them, then why are you homeschooling? That's what I had to ask myself. Why am I homeschooling if I am doing the exact thing that the reason why I pulled them out, among other reasons? So I really had to do some soul searching, some deep self-evaluation of myself. And when I looked at myself back in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw, because I have like totally morphed into something that I did not like. So with homeschooling, because I was drowning, and until I had that heart to heart with my son and my daughter, and I actually heard the way they wanted to learn, despite what I thought was the best thing since sliced bread. When I heard the way they wanted to learn, and then I listened and I heard it, And then I went into it and I totally scared, but I did what they needed because I'm doing it for them, not me. I'm doing it for them. So, you guys, everything is going so much smoother now. Like, my kids are like, can we start back? We on a little break now. We've been out for the whole month of May due to a whole lot of different things going on. So, we're doing a kind of low key schooling in June, and in July I'm gonna start back because they're like, let's go ahead and get down to the good and beautiful and get to our supplemental stuff with Thinking Tree. Because they actually like the supplemental stuff better. It's not so much overwhelming for them. And I mostly do the supplements with them. I sit down and do it with them because, hey, we're gonna learn about the 7 amazing continents together. We're gonna do the pondering the past together, and it's a lot of stuff that I can do with them and they can do with each other, even though they're in 2 different grade levels with the supplement. But the core wasn't doing, it stopped doing what I initially thought it would do for my children. And at first it was awesome. I'm not gonna, it was great at first. It was great. But then as I think we just in a different place now. Yeah, they love the bonding time. They do. And so the good and the beautiful and the real science, or real science for kids, which is focused on science. They have chemistry and all kind of different stuff, astronomy and all kinds of different stuff. I plan to stick with it, and I also love Story of the World because I can add in different biblical things. It's very easy to tie in the story of the world with the Bible. So that's why I like Story of the World, because it's so easy for me to tie in biblical history with it. So that's why I particularly love it. You can easily add on things to the good and the beautiful, the way that it's written. And we do the audio books and the activity books only. We don't use a test and all that other stuff. We listen to it, we talk about it, discuss it, and then we do an activity. And then they do whatever activities is for that lesson. And they have been doing amazing with that as well. So I have never had a video this long before, you guys. I'm so sorry for being so long-winded, but I really wanted to explain to y'all. Now, I do have a lot of Thinking Tree core journals. I'm keeping all my supplements because I'm going to use those. But I do have quite a bit of Thinking Tree core journals. And I don't think we're going to ever use them at this point. So what I'm going to do is I want to get your opinion on it. Money-wise, I can't afford to send out any more giveaways right now. But if you want me to have a giveaway with Thinking Tree journals, what I can, if you guys, if like, say for example, I do a Thinking Tree giveaway and you win the giveaway, right? And I write you and you pay for the shipping. The books are free. I'm not charging you for the books. You just pay the shipping, and I use Media Mail. So Media Mail is super duper inexpensive, just for the ones in the United States, not internationally, but in the United States. If you want some Thinking Tree journals, core journals, because I'm using my supplemental ones, that's how I'm gonna have to do it from now on. So if you win something, if that's what y'all guys, y'all can comment below this video once it posts and say, okay, well, I would like you to do the Thinking Tree core giveaway journals, and I'll pay for you will pay for the shipping for it, then I'll be happy to send it out. Because just because it didn't work for me, that don't mean it's not going to work for you. And the concept is good. I still use the same philosophy or concept from Thinking Tree with building baskets. I just don't build baskets for core journals anymore. I just use those baskets that I use for my core journal to supplement different activities and different things that we're doing in that subject, like making sure I combined all my resources and have it where I can see it so that we can use them. So I still use the basket philosophy. I will prefer PayPal, because if I do PayPal, if you send me money for shipping through PayPal, I can print the label from there, and then you can get the tracking. I really do not like sending stuff out without you being able to track it. with me being totally transparent, I don't like anything to be questioned. So if I would prefer PayPal so that I can track it and you can track it, and it'll tell you exactly when it arrived or where it is in transit. So like I said, just because we changed and we are not using Think and Treat as a core, just as a supplement now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't use the product if you know the product is working, the core journals is working for you and your family, and your children are absolutely loving it. Stick with it. Don't let my video deter you. Stick with it if it's working. But if it's not working, I'm telling you, don't be afraid to change it. It's okay to change it. It's okay. You'll be just fine, because remember your goal for homeschooling, whatever your goal was, keep that in mind. The goal is for your children to learn, and to learn without all the stress, and to be happy with the way that they want to learn. My children wanted to have more structure, want to have things more laid out. They didn't want to, they got to the point in their homeschool where they didn't want to build any more things on their own. So I listened. I was scared because I'm like, I already bought all this stuff. But it is what it is. And since I changed, they are so happy. And I am too, because guess what? I don't have to do all that planning anymore. I just add on things, which is so much funner than building everything from scratch. So they're happy, I'm happy, and I hope this video helped any of you moms or dads or grandmas or grandpas that's out there homeschooling and you're looking for something, or you at a transition with your homeschool, and you've been using Think and Treat products, and you're at a transition, you're trying to say, what am I going to do? It's not working. Or is anything I can do to adjust it or adapt it or whatever? Should I switch? I don't know if you should switch. You're going to have to do some soul searching for yourself and figure out whether or not that's what you need to do for your family. But once you figure out what works, don't be afraid to just take it by the horns and just do it. Because if I hadn't done that and listened to them when they was telling me how they want to learn, and kept them in doing what we were doing, because I had all these journals that I bought, and I'm like, you're going to use these. If I would have kept that mentality, then I would have lost all the learning quality and out of my homeschool. So right now, I'm still doing some Think and Tree with supplementing stuff with Think and Tree, but I'm just not using the core. I'm not totally flipped anymore to fun schooling. I'm just a little partial Think and Tree person. We're still doing fun schooling, but not just that way. And what you need to think about fun schooling is you can do whatever way works for your family. So again, this is Tina from Lakeshore Academy. You guys have a great rest of your day. And if you want to be included in a giveaway and you don't mind paying for the shipping, because I can't afford to do it, and I don't want those journals to go to waste, because I was going to adapt them, but now I'm just saying I'm not even going to do all that, because if someone else can use them, then I'm going to let you get them. If you pay for the shipping, just let me know. And I'll let you know what I have or whatever like that, because I have quite a bit. Like, I have a lot. But at any rate, you guys, have a great day. And I will also be doing a Learn Math Fast giveaway this month. So you'll be able to pick one volume of any volume that you want. If you're selected as the winner, you'll be able to get that volume. And I'm trying to do it this month. Hopefully Friday, I will get on and do it, if not earlier, to do that, announce that giveaway. Not announce it, but do the giveaway so you guys can comment and all that, and so you can have it before school starts. And that is about it. Other than I need to tell you guys about a freebie that I got. And if I can do the video, I will do it today. If not, I will do it another day. Because this writing freebie that I have is pretty great, I must admit. And it's middle school, and you can't hardly find middle school and high school stuff that's that good. So I'm gonna share it with you, and hopefully you can get it before your school year start, because it take 2 to 4 weeks. I think they said 2 to 4 weeks. or 4 to 6 weeks for you to get it or something like that. I can't remember right now. But at any rate, thank you guys for tuning in and hanging in with me because I done talked 40 minutes. Well, at any rate, I just want to explain myself to you guys. So I hope you understand, and I am so happy with my decisions that we have made collectively as our homeschool family. This is working for us, and I hope and pray that you guys find something that works for you guys. And if Thinking Tree is that, the flip to fun schooling is that for you, stick with it. If it's not, don't be afraid to change it. Don't be afraid to change it. You can still use Thinking Tree if you want, like I'm doing. Supplement, because she has some great supplementing stuff. Oh, okay. Okay, I will let you know about the titles about it. If you're on Facebook, just private message me so that I can private message you directly. Because I have a lot of journals, like yeah, and I just went through my stuff, cleaned out my homeschool room, and a lot of the stuff my kids aged out of it. So that's what you get when I buying too much stuff or earn too much stuff, or I actually won giveaways and bought things when they was on sale. You're welcome. And I loaded up for years ahead. So that's why I didn't get to them yet. I had too many because I bought too many. But at any rate, maybe this can help you and your family and other homeschool families because they can get a little pricey. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to private message. See you later.